What a game. The Vancouver Canucks have done it, folks. They have ended off the pre-Christmas NHL stint as the number one team in the entire league. They're number one. No tie, no whatever. Sure, via points percentage, they're not number one. But in fact, it gets even nuttier because for points percentage, the Canucks are second. Vancouver now has 49 points in 35 games played this season. They're number one in the league with a 2-point lead over New York and Vegas. Vegas lost today in regulation against the Florida Panthers. The Rangers won today, so they have the tie with Vegas. But Vancouver, with their 49 points, is indeed a unanimous number one in the NHL. In points percentage, though, it's all good, because Vancouver is number two. The Boston Bruins played today. Regulation loss against the Minnesota Wild. The Kings, they beat the Calgary Flames in regulation, so they got some points, but still, they have so many fewer games played than Vancouver that the point discrepancy doesn't really mean much at this point. But Vancouver is number one in points and number two in points percentage, ending off this stint before the holidays with a bang. It's a 7-4 win over the San Jose Sharks. And I'm going to be honest, this game was way crazier than it needed to be. San Jose just has this weird ability to find offense and create something out of nothing, consistently scoring all these weird and wacky goals that go off of guys unintentionally, that bounce out in front, where Demko gets hung out to dry. The Vancouver Canucks succumbed 4 goals in this game, and admittedly, they don't do that often, but when they do, it usually comes against the San Jose Sharks of all teams. They score 7, though, which is good for them, and the story of tonight was definitely highlighted by the guy who got on the board the first 2 times. Andrei Kuzmenko making his return to the Vancouver Canucks lineup. Phil DiGiuseppe was not playing today, but you did have a selection of other forwards rotating around there. Of course, Kuzmenko was in the mix. Nils Aman played today. But of course, what we care about the most is the goals on the board. And it's Andrei Kuzmenko who gets things started 1 minute and 34 seconds into the entire contest. It's a play where the Canucks are breaking it into the Shark zone. Pettersson goes across into the middle. It hits off of Mikael, dropped right in front for Kuzmenko to pick up the puck. He drags it around the D. He shoots. He scores. The building goes wild. Andrei Kuzmenko with his 7th goal on the year after everybody was calling him out for not scoring many goals in the limited sample he did play. After all those games in the press box, 3 straight scratches, the Canucks saying they were disappointed in the way he trained in the offseason. He comes back into the lineup on the first line with Petey and Mikael and scores an opening goal. What a story. The Canucks then find themselves on the power play 5 minutes later, and after Elias Pettersson throws the puck over to JT Miller, Miller comes in with a low shot. It's flat along the ice, but it's tipped in, up and over by Andrei Kuzmenko. What a goal scored there by Kuzi. 2 goals in the span of about 5 minutes or so for Andrei Kuzmenko to get things started here in Vancouver before the holiday break. That is the break he needed in order to get his confidence back. You started to see him shooting the puck a little bit more. This is what you get when you drop Andrei Kuzmenko in fantasy. He starts popping off. Yeah, I immediately picked him back up because I'm sorry, Joel Farabee. As much as I like you and your game, I gotta go with my guys. Andrei Kuzmenko had a great performance in the first 7 minutes or so of this game, and then just kind of disappeared for the rest of it because he got 2 goals. He doesn't need to be amazing after that. Canucks, though, end up giving up 2 straight goals to San Jose after this in the first period. First one is a shot by Anthony Duclair on the rush. It gets tipped in by Mikael Granlund, and the funny part is it doesn't even look like he's trying to tip it. He's just skating forward, and for some reason it goes off of his stick and over into the net. Give it 3 minutes after that, and the Canucks kind of fumble the puck in their own zone a little bit. They're trying to clear it. Tyler Myers isn't able to get it out. It's a giveaway right in the corner boards. Eventually, the Sharks have it, and it's cycled back to the point. Ferraro takes a shot. The rebound is down there, and it's put in through the legs by Tomas Hertl. So Hertl gets the tying goal with 4 minutes left to go in the first period. 2-2 the score here. And the shots on goal in the first were pretty bad, admittedly. 5-5. Like, both of these teams had 2 goals and 5 shots in the first period, which is not great from a goaltending perspective, but as the game went on, you started to see that pattern subsist itself a little bit more. Nils Aman had a really beautiful goal in the second period at the end of a Canucks penalty kill. It's Teddy Blueger who gets things started by knocking a centering pass down at center ice. He comes in 2-on-1 with Nils Aman, and Teddy Blueger does a brilliant toe drag to the backhand before sending a ripping cross-crease pass right over to Aman, who buries it right by. It's not a shorthanded goal. You could say in spirit it was, but the penalty actually came to an end right before the puck went in, so it's technically an even strength goal, but the Canucks killed it off. They got the goal right after, so Nils Aman with his second on the year, assisted by Blueger. That is a career-high point streak for Teddy. I believe they said it was 7 games long? No, 6 games long, something like that. And just a little bit later, the Canucks end up getting yet another one. Connor Garland plays it back over to Ian Cole, who takes a long drive from the point. It's tipped on goal by Justin Bailey, of all people, but nah, Bailey touched it once, and then it was actually Sam Lafferty who touched it too. So Lafferty gets the 4-2 goal 8 minutes into the second period. This is when the Sharks start to fight back a little bit, though, as you have Mario Ferraro, of all people. He had 3 assists in this game, for crying out loud. What a great showcase for him. He has a really beautiful play as he's going down low into the Canucks zone, spinning around and throwing it out in front for Fabian Zetterlund to get that snapshot. Zetterlund makes it 4-3. He brings the Sharks within 1 with about 9 minutes to go in the second period. So Canucks fans were kind of panicking a little bit. Hey, the Sharks are getting a lot of offense against us. That's not ideal. But at the end of the period, you had yourselves a brilliant rush by this third line once again, as Teddy Blueger is the guy who starts things out, picking the puck up in the neutral zone. After crossing the blue line, he centers it back over for Garland, who slows, comes right in on goal before ripping across crease pass to Dakota Joshua, who buries his 9th on the year. Blueger, Garland, and Joshua have got to be one of the best lines in hockey right now, even though they're the third line, even though they're not the most important line. This team has so much depth, and I mean, looking at what they were able to do tonight, it was fantastic. Now, in the third period, you had a goal scored by Jacob MacDonald. Yeah, I mean, he's got 6 goals on the year, by the way, as a defenseman. Like, what in the world? The puck actually gets centered out, and the Canucks lose their checks. MacDonald is right there in front, and he's able to put it up high over a sprawled-out Thatcher Demko. That makes it 5-4, so the Canucks are only leading by 1. But then 2 minutes after that, the Canucks score a goal. It's JT Miller who wins the faceoff back to Quinn Hughes. He takes a long drive, and it's tipped down and in by Pius Suter, making it 6-4 Vancouver. So there you go. Finally, Quinn Hughes getting on the board. He has been held pointless for way too long in the past little while here. He gets an assist and ends up putting the Canucks up 6-4. And then Quinn Hughes on the empty net has probably the most beautiful empty net goal I've seen in a while, where he gets the puck in the neutral zone and shoots it up over everybody, and the puck plops right into the net. It's almost like a basketball. It had to go over a whole bunch of heads on its way to the goal. There you go. Quinn Hughes gets his 68th multi-point game of his career, which is, what is it now, number 1 or tied for number 1 amongst all Vancouver Canucks defensemen? Like, what a crazy stat line for Quinn Hughes. The guy goes out there with yet another goal and assist after an entire game where he wasn't really producing all too much. JT Miller gets multiple points in this one, as does Elias Pettersson, so a lot of these top scorers on Vancouver are getting back involved in the play, and then of course the third line still going out there doing their thing. Thatcher Demko made 21 saves on 25 shots against, so not ideal, but he still went out there and got the win. Brock Besser got nothing tonight, unfortunately, but Andrei Kuzmenko getting the 2 goals to start everything off. That's got to be the biggest story in today's game, especially heading into the break, right? If he's able to get that confidence back and start scoring more goals, then it's going to be a good pickup for me to get him back onto my team after I dropped him earlier this week. Yeah, I still won my matchup this week, which is all great, but Andrei Kuzmenko becoming good again will just solidify this Vancouver Canucks team as a potential contender. We'll say that. Number 1 in the NHL in points, number 2 in points percentage. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the team winning against the San Jose Sharks 7-4. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.